Hey Falcon fans, I'm Thomas Mott. Welcome to Atlanta Falcons Today. Training camp is here, and we have your mailbag questions to go ahead and roll right alongside us. The Falcons, as we speak, as we're filming, are up at Flowery Branch for day 4, whatever it is of training camp, and looking pretty good from everything that I'm hearing. So we'll start with the first question. Zot Hip Hop says, Falcons defense sucks. They should swoop in one Chandler wanting out of Arizona or Xavien Howard down in Miami. I agree. We've talked about this over the past couple of days, but I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but cap space is the main issue, right? Like if cap space was not an issue right now, they would have for sure, in my opinion, signed one of these two players or traded for one of these two players because Chandler is one of the best pass rushers for the past couple of years, and Xavien Howard is he the number 2 cornerback in the NFL, the number 3 cornerback in the NFL? He's really, really good. I put him just below Jalen Ramsey. But the problem is, and we've talked about this, is that the Atlanta Falcons don't have a lot of cap space. They want to take whatever cap space they have freely available right now and roll that into next year's offseason. That way they can have some firepower in year 2 of the Arthur Smith regime. If they were to trade for one of these two players, both of them want brand new contracts, and that would mean not only you got to pay them even more, you have to go ahead and figure out a way to create the money. Now you can. Every team has the ability to create cap space. You convert, contract money into bonus money or guaranteed money, whatever it is, but you probably have to go ahead and restructure like Grady Jarrett's deal, which they apparently don't want to do because they haven't done it this offseason, haven't really done any conversations about it, and so the odds of this happening are, they're slim. It's probably not going to happen. I think the team that you see right now up at Flowery Branch is the team that you are going to have, unless they want to bring in like a Justin Houston, who is an older pass rusher, but a cheaper pass rusher by a lot than Chandler Jones. Other than that, unless they have a major injury, I don't see them going out and signing any of these players. Again, not because they don't need them, because if they had both of these guys, this defense would go from like here to here. These are really good players, but they don't have the money to go ahead and make a move like this. So if they could do it and move money around, I'm all for it, but the odds are very slim. I'm going to be honest with you guys up there on that one. Mafi says, let's see here, Thomas, in order to be a success, what kind of progress do the Falcons need in the next 3 years, and what year is the biggest in terms to improvement? Is it year 2 or year 3 or this year? Thanks, end quote. Oof. That's a good question. Okay, here's the deal. I think that you need to see improvement in year 1 if you want to go for the Arthur Smith plan, which I think this is what I think Arthur Smith's plan is. I think his plan is to get at least 1 to 2 more years out of Matt Ryan after this year. Like, they're going to use him obviously this year, and then hopefully get 1 more year out of him in 2022, and then make the decision. But with that being said, they need to draft somebody in the upcoming NFL draft. That way they can have Matt Ryan to go ahead and mentor his successor, and then, a nice, easy transition from Matt Ryan to the next guy. So I think you need to see progress this year. They don't have to go out and win 13 games, but they can't win 4. Right? And you can't win 6. I think they got to be competitive this year to prove that the Arthur Smith way, the Arthur Smith system is going to work. Then in year 2, you can go ahead and plug the holes that they still have, pass rusher, cornerback, whether you think it's an offensive line or whatever it is. Then they start winning real football games in year 2, and then you're a real playoff team in year 3. That's kind of the progressive stance that you should take right now if you are a Falcon fan. And in that, they got to get a quarterback. That way they can go ahead and have the transition smoothly from Matt Ryan to whoever it is. I'm fine with not taking one this year that they should have in the later rounds, but still, whatever. But this season has to prove that Matt Ryan is still the guy, and that way you can transition to getting one next offseason, getting 1 more year to Matt Ryan, and then in 2023 having the new starter be a quarterback. That's at least what Arthur Smith is trying to do, and he needs to be able to win enough, which isn't a ton, but enough to prove that this system and this way is going to go ahead and work. So we'll see. Again, it's interesting what's going to happen, but I think Arthur Smith's system is a smart one and one that can work if they can get it get up and running early here in year number 1. How far out do you think the Falcons are for me a Super Bowl team? Are they not even close? Are they a year or 2 away? Are they 5 years away? How far off are you in terms of thinking about the Falcons being a Super Bowl team? Give me your thoughts on that down below in the comment section right now. All right, if we're going to keep going here, you're seeing all the pictures from training camp, but you're seeing also the Falcons' official brand new training camp hats that all the players and coaches are wearing right now up at Flowery Branch as they are on the practice field in what's blazing hot Atlanta. I'm in Atlanta right now. It's super hot. The sun's been out almost every single day, so the hats are very, very helpful. We're at the best team in the NFC South. Tons of different styles. Of course, can fit your head, whether it's a big head or a little head, whatever it is. Tons of different sizes up there. Go to chatsports.com/Falcons Camp. That is the link that you need. You can put it up in Google or go down below me in the description box. Either way, chatsports.com/Falcons Camp is the place to go to pick up the official Falcons training camp hat that they're rocking up there up in Flowery Branch. Okay, Bookies Tukis, I think I said that right, hopefully, says, why didn't they address their most pressing need? Defensive line, if you don't pressure quarterbacks, you lose. I mean, you're not wrong. It's a question we talked about a lot here on the channel. They should have added more pass rushers, mainly in the draft. I thought the draft was kind of an opportunity to get some rotational guys that weren't in the 5th or 6th round a little bit earlier, but what are you going to do? Here's my thought process, though. I think Dean Pease thinks he can fix them. Like, I think he truly thinks he can fix the defense as a whole and turn what is a bottom third in the league roster defensively, in my opinion, to a, middle of the tier. And I think that that's his goal right now, is he's not going to go out and be a top 10 defense, most likely. He's not going to be a top 5 defense, most likely. What about top 15? Like, what about 17th overall? What about 13th overall? Like, you can win football games being a middle-of-the-tier defense with a really good offense. And that's right now the hope right now in the ATL is that they're going to have a very good offense, score a bunch of points, and then have a defense that's a bend but don't break, where they'll give up yards and they'll give up touchdowns, but they win football games. It's something they haven't been able to do in the past. Like, that was the goal last year, and they were bend but don't break, but they still gave up too many points, and the offense wasn't able to score enough. And so now if the offense scores enough, the defense holds down the fort enough, this team can go ahead and win some football games. I think Pease's goal, again, is to, fix them on his own, and whether he can do it or not is the real question mark here as we enter into year 1 of the brand new regime in the ATL. Okay, before we're going to keep going here, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channels. We're trying to get to 5,000 subs here as quickly as we can. We'll get to 4,000, then 5,000, and continue all the way up. If you love the Falcons and love what we do here on the channel, go ahead and subscribe. It helps us out. It's free, and it gives us more opportunities to create more videos and content for you guys here on your one-stop shop for everything happening in the ATL. So help us out. Go down below and hit that subscribe button. It's just below me, like somewhere right down there. It's very easy. It takes one click, and it will really help grow the channel. Subscriber Yo Misty says, the Falcons will run a 2 tight end set, and if so, how would you think it would work? Yes, they will. I think 100%. This is a beautiful tight end depth chart to go ahead and run the 12 personnel, the 2 tight end set that you see a lot of teams do in the NFL. Mainly because, yes, you have, obviously the rookie, the 4th overall draft pick, number 8, Kyle Pitts, and he's going to be on the football field a ton and already has been during Falcons training camp. But you still have Hayden Hurst, who wasn't spectacular last year, but still have 500 yards receiving, and he's bulked up, and he's gotten a lot leaner, too. So he's gotten more muscle, but leaned out a little bit, and people are very excited what they've seen from him during OTAs. And so I think that you're going to see a scenario where the Falcons run a lot more, 12 package, where you got both tight ends on the field, where it's Hurst up close and Pitts split in the slot, or vice versa, and then 2 receivers on the outside, and let Matt Ryan kind of work in to out. That's what you do in the 12 personnel. So I love what they've done at the tight end spot. I think Hurst is going to be a guy that you can 100% expect to have a pretty decent year, even though Kyle Pitts is going to take some of his snaps, but I'm pumped to see what they have with Hayden Hurst. Nabil says, which scenario is more likely for us? Falcons make the playoffs, or they only win up to 4 games? Definitely make the playoffs, because if they only win 4 games, I'll be absolutely shocked. The schedule is easy, and the team is not trash. Like, 4 wins would be really sad. I think the NFC South has huge question marks. You want to talk about going into the postseason? How about look at inside the division? Yes, the Bucs are going to be the best team in the division, barring injury. They're stacked, and they have Tom Brady, and so naturally they should win double-digit games and win the NFC South. But what's the case for the Saints this year? Like, they have Jameis Winston. They don't have Michael Thomas. The defense is a year older. Like, I'm looking at the Saints right now. It feels just like Alvin Kamara and Sean Payton. I don't think that's enough. Carolina, I like, and I'm a Baylor guy. I'm a big Matt Rule guy. Does Sam Darnold have it? Does Sam Darnold have enough to go ahead and lead this team? Can Christian McCaffrey stay healthy? Is the defense old enough in terms of, all these young players that they've added? I think that the Falcons can easily be the second best team in the NFC South. And if that's the case, then you're competing at least for a wild card spot at 8, 9, or 10 wins. And so I absolutely think that the easier scenario, or the more likely scenario, is they make the playoffs versus, only win 4 games. Give me your division predictions down below. Be a pinned comment, the top comment on this video. Rank the division. Give me like Bucks. I think it'd be Bucks, Falcons, Panthers, Saints. I think the Saints at the 4th one. But give me your division rankings right now. Your predictions down below in the comment section. You'll see a pinned comment from us, which would be the top comment on the video. Okay, one more. David Jones says, if we approach the trade deadline with a terrible record, which player should we move? I don't think they will, but you get around week 8, and the teams that stink are sellers, and so if you had to, pick 4 players that could be moved at the deadline, here are your 4. I think Hayden Hurst, especially since you drafted Kyle Pitts. If they're struggling and Hurst is playing well, you don't need him because you're not going to keep him after this year. You could trade him to a team that needs a tight end. I think the same goes for Dante Fowler. If he plays well, you're not going to re-sign him still because the odds of being able to afford him next offseason are pretty slim. And so a team needs a pass rusher. Fowler would be a good instance. Russell Gage, I wouldn't want to get rid of. I think he's a great young wide receiver. But again, if you're terrible, like the question asked, and, a team needs a receiver, okay, you can have Russell Gage. Grady Jarrett would be a long shot. I highly doubt that would happen. I would not trade Grady Jarrett. But again, talking about the future, if you don't want to pay him, then you could move Grady Jarrett if you are just trashed the first 8 games, but I highly doubt that's going to happen. So I would not even think about trading these guys, but you wanted possible people if the record is bad at the trade deadline. Here are a couple names you could go ahead and look at, even though I highly doubt that any of these guys would be traded. Don't get mad at me in the comments section because I don't think it's going to happen, all right? All right, all time for today here on Atlanta Falcons Mailbag video. Use the hashtag Falcons in the comments section to be a part of our next Mailbag video. Just down below, ask a question, and of course, make sure you guys are subscribed as always. For Atlanta Falcons today, I'm Thomas Mott, signing off. Have a great weekend, the rest of your day.